Huh, a lot of fighting. Kodak, you
Yes,
actually
I
got
do.
into it quite a bit. What triggered you?
Okay, so I mean, a lot of these, I mean, this kind of authentications from her, it has happened a couple of times without me retaliating. I mean, I happened to go to the washroom, but then as I'm about to enter, I hear things, but then I never even retaliate. I
Hear
act.
what kind of things?
I mean, I hear her talking about us,
In what
myself, and
sense? I can say, oh, Kodak has a new haircut, and I could be talking about you,
I mean,
but not necessarily
in a
category.
bad way, like
Okay.
gossips.
Okay.
Yes.
So what are some of the things you've heard passing by that has caused you to sort of internalize it so much you blew up this
Okay,
week?
I mean, let me talk about that particular day. Yes. So I was upstairs, right? And then we had finished, I think, making a timetable for the week, right? And then I had to change batteries upstairs. I heard Grace and then BB have a conversation in the kitchen. I could hear them from the hallway. So I walked up to Bella. I heard our names. And then the things I was hearing wasn't that good.
What kind of things?
Okay. So I'm coming there,
Okay.
please. All right. So what I heard first was near Shemikran say, I mean, it's vernacular. That's I'm saying whatever she said. Near Shemikran say, Brodokra Omuchamao. And then truth is, when I first became the head of house, myself and then Bella, I made sure everyone gets a piece of the bread. That is why I actually cut everyone's bread for them.
Okay.
So when she said I felt hit, I felt like, oh, wow. So it means you didn't like them. That was weeks ago. And then she was speaking in an angry manner. It wasn't something that's like you throwing tantrums and yes. And then the second thing was she was saying we drag issues. And then if we've ever been to the morgue and then we've seen how they treat people in there, we wouldn't have been acting this way. So I was asking myself, how are we acting? Yes. So I mean, I'm human. I have emotions and feelings. Yes. And then the more you trigger me, the more I get angry. And then I walk down there just to warn her and just to like have a verbal communication with anger, not to fight physically.
Okay. Now, so you heard both Grace and BB having that conversation. So let me
Yes.
start off with BB. I should start with Grace. Grace, what were you saying that Kodak heard, really?
Okay, so I remember that particular morning we were supposed to go for our morning workouts. So I think Bebe hasn't been well for some time, like for some days now. So he decided to sleep in. So we went. I was actually waking him up and he was like, oh, you can't go, so I should go. I was like, okay. So I think we delayed, normally when you sleep and you're like, they're waking you up, you don't just wake up at once. So I think we were all dragging our feet small. Okay, so, one thing was they were at the kitchen speaking. So when you speak, if you're at the bedroom or the hall, like, you hear it. So everything they were saying, we were hearing. They were like, on the partner, when they became heads of house, weren't they doing worse than this? And the things they were saying, like, I don't think if I were to be the one saying those things to them, they would feel okay about it. But I didn't really take it personal. So we went and then we came back, and Bibi and I were having a normal conversation. We were having a normal conversation. You said you've been hearing me speak about you and your partner. What exactly have you been hearing me speak back? Because if you say we are saying things that we've been hearing people and their partners speak, trust me, Big Mama's house will be an unbearable place for all of us. So if you've heard Bibi and I having a conversation, you came and you said we were trying to compare you to the people at the mortuary. I was like, that was not what we were saying. I was just saying about how we were treating each other in Big Mama's house. Because make her say, if you go to the mortuary and you see how they treat the dead bodies, we wouldn't be treating each other the way we do. And about the bread thing, always when they are bringing bread, they bring 2 loaves of bread for us every morning to use. Ebia, sometimes some people might not take their breakfast or they like to have something else. Do you understand? And what I was saying was, when you people were heirs of house, you cut the bread for us. And I was like, Obi, someone might want to eat more. Obi, so might want to eat less. So why don't you leave it?
For those who
Because
want
at least what I know is they bring 2 loaves of bread for us each morning. Maybe there's a delays. Maybe a delay. If maybe we have a leftover, maybe we just use it or something. Because you can't expect 10 of us to share one loaf of bread. Some people eat more.
Okay.
So if I say that, I was just making a reference. Say, brodo crown, we are the bar, much chemael, as you say, we are kids. I'm not trying to speak bad. So don't say you've been hearing me and my partner speak ill about you. In what way? Say it. Have you ever walked on Babylon and High talking about other partners? No, we don't do that. So please, don't sit here and say that.
So you felt his attack was unwarranted, like it came from nowhere?
For me, I feel there's something else that they do not want to say, because you can't come to me and be like, oh, me won't fall background border, but you beat me. He says stuff, you called me wicked. How am I wicked?
Yes. Yeah.
How am I wicked? How
please,
does what
I
you
never
were
said
speaking
I
about
was
make
going
me
to lay
wicked?
hands on her.
And you
No,
were
you
making
said-
reference of what Jato and Sandra were saying, and it's true.
Yeah.
What were they saying and it was true? What
Yeah.
exactly were they saying?
Did I ever say I was going to lay hands on you?
You
That's
sort
what
of-
you just said.
You imply that if you could, you would, to some extent. Or,
No, I said...
What do you remember saying?
I said I will never fight with her. I mean, have...
But you
like-
use your words.
Right,
Yes.
that is what I said.
Yes.
I never said I was going to lay hands on her.
You said you use your words instead.
Right.
And you sort of used your words quite a bit. You called her evil. You basically implied that she was a manipulator, and then you stated that what Jato said was you are now finding out he was right. What did Jato say or imply that you now found out in that moment that was right?
Okay, so before I go in, I would like to say a very big sorry to everybody, yes, with regards to me calling her evil and all of that. And then back to what I said. So as I said earlier, I'm human. I deal with emotions and feelings. So I used to always like praise her and then Bebeluna as well. Because Bebeluna and I were very, very cool.
Where?
Yes.
Where?
Yes.
You're no more close.
I mean, we haven't had any sort of like calm conversations like we used to back then.
Why?
I do not know,
Okay.
for some reasons.
Okay.
Yes. So I used to go to the chat room and then Big Mama would question me about them. And then even Grace, there's been moments when I realized she wasn't in a very good state. When
Right.
Brownie first came into the house, she would be in the lounge playing Owari alone. And then I'll just walk up to her.
And be friendly.
Right. I'll be in the chat room. Big Mama would question me about how I feel about them. And then I remember saying this a couple of times, that I am very happy. Bebelino admitted his English is not really good. Then I told Big Mama I'm very excited. Grace is like being a sort of a tutor to Bebelino. Right. So I was saying all those things, but then I think one time I saw something, Jato was always trying to tell me, Grace will do this or say this and the next minute deny it. I never believed that. I never believed that.
What did she say
So
and then deny that made you think that?
I mean, even right now, she just said, I said I was going to beat her, but then that wasn't what I said.
And, okay, I can understand that, but in the heat of the moment too, sometimes people remember events differently. Sometimes. Not that I'm in support but I understand what you're saying, but please proceed.
Yes, I mean, I think that's so wild. I
Okay.
wouldn't want to say
keep going on
anything
that.
else, yes.
Bella, you were shaking your head for a bit, and I will come to your conversation, because clearly you have a bit to unburden off your chest. As Kodak was describing the issues and as Grace was speaking, you kept shaking your head. At least let's start off with that particular incident where Kodak had that big blowout with Grace. What were your thoughts there?
Okay. I was actually sleeping that day when that incident happened. So Kodak came and then he was like, Bella, Grace is saying some things that I'm not okay with. So please go and talk to her for me. He came to the bedroom.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, I'm sleeping. What is it? Just tell me. So he was like, I'm going there. So I told him, don't go. Just leave her. Because already she feels like I don't like her. I'm jealous of her. She has been saying a lot. Yeah, even right now when Kodak was talking, she was like, jealousy, oh, like she was saying it right now on the stage. Yeah, and then Kodak was talking before I got there. And then I wanted to take him from that end, but the reason why I was shaking my head was I know how Kodak reacts when he's angry, so I don't like it when he's angry at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does
He
he react?
never said he was going to beat Grace.
He said he would use his words.
Yes, he didn't say that. You know, sometimes you get angry and then you say things and then later someone will be like, you said this, then you have to explain yourself. I understand her point. Maybe because she heard, I'll use to beat you, she felt like he was saying, but Kodak can never beat a woman. Yeah, so that was the reason why I was shaking my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Grace, there's been a lot of allegations that you tend to speak about other housemates in the washrooms where you know there are no particular cameras and sometimes no mic is picking up that activity. Is it true?
Well, the fact that those people meet in the washrooms to gossip about people doesn't mean that when I go to the washroom, I go there to gossip. I don't have time to gossip about anybody, seriously. I do not have time to gossip about anybody. If Baby and I go, or who do I even gossip with? Who do I gossip with?
What?
Because Bibi just came to the house, and she's the only friend I have in that house that if something is bothering me, I'll go to and then
And
tell
speak
her.
about it.
So who, if they say I'm gossiping, who am I gossiping with? Because I don't remember anyone in that house being my friend or going to anyone in that house to pour my heart out to the person. So who exactly am I gossiping with? Or is it Bebe? Bebe is here, please. If you've been gossiping, say it.
Is there any truth
No,
to that,
because
Bebe,
I don't understand. Seriously, I do not understand. I just want to know who I've been gossiping with or what I've been gossiping about exactly.
So, for purposes of clarity, you do not go to the washroom and gossip.
If Bebe and I go to the washroom, we are going to do our thing, please.
What thing?
No, relax.
You're going to do what thing? What thing, please, Grace? What thing are you and Bebe going to do there?
No, I mean, sorry.
We take our bath together.
Oh, no.
We take our bath together.
You take your baths together.
Yeah.
Okay. But is there any truth to the assertion that, or is there any truth when people state that you and Grace, perhaps you, or whomever, goes into the washroom with Grace to gossip?
Me no get time for the hate and the bad energy. Come on, man, no, mama. Make you dance
Gossip
like
about
Coco.
anybody,
That's my
seriously.
end.
Okay. All right. Okay.